Three, two, one. What is going on, everybody? I'm Chris Daly.
I'm Lucas Francis.
And this is the FC Mammoth Podcast. And today is take two of a very special podcast that we are running with none other than General Manager James Davis, the man behind everything at FC Mammoth. So, James, thanks so much for joining, and we're really excited to have you on today. Yeah, exactly. It's always better the second time. So, yeah, without further ado, can we just jump into your background in soccer? Of course, you played with your dad growing up, and then how did that translate into getting into FC Monmouth and the sports management side of things? Yeah, and just to jump into the next question, then, how does FC Monmouth, for you as a general manager, work in an all-year aspect? Because I was very shocked when I joined, and I saw you working, past the season, before the season. It really never stops. So, can you just talk about that and what it entails?
So speaking of next year, what's in stock for next year for FC Monmouth? What do you anticipate happening? Think we're gonna win a championship? Oh, this year, yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned the roster, and with Jackson Lions, right across the street pretty much, and then you get FC Motown and so many teams in New Jersey, really, even with USL League Two, which is a whole nother story, a whole nother league. How do you go about recruiting talents, and then from there keeping these talents to stay in Count Basie for FC Monmouth?
But James, like, what is the NPSL? So, like, for anyone that just doesn't watch FC Mob, doesn't even know what the NPSL is, what is it?
Yeah, it's a really great league, great structure and everything, super well organized. And as you mentioned, I think a couple comments ago, but the Keystone is definitely the best conference with FC Motown. They're great. The Lions are great. FC Mob is great. So many great clubs. Westchester as well. And now you mentioned the Blue Calls, and Ryan Howard is one of the guys. I don't know if you guys are baseball guys, but he's really gone into the major leagues, had a great career. I think recently for FC Monmouth, we've had one of those guys in Connor Kelly who went to England. He actually had to leave FC Monmouth early to depart and try out for a few teams there. So, can you just talk about Connor Kelly's story and just how cool it is that a guy that was just playing for FC Monmouth a couple months ago, all of a sudden is in one of the biggest underdog stories in all of soccer? Yeah, and how did that transfer work? Because I remember you talking about that and Connor going over there. Is it like a FIFA type transfer, FIFA like transfer in the video game itself too? How did that happen?
And speaking of some transfers, I know you're a big Red Bull guy. What do you think about this season? You think Emil Forsberg is a good signing for him? You think that we should have signed maybe a couple more players? What do you think? You think Luquinhas is like? You think that's a big loss, and you think that Forsberg can fill that hole, especially also after losing? Mhm. And last question, but do you think Dante Van Zier can reach his full potential? We know he was Golden Boot winner out of Belgium right before he came. Didn't really do anything last season. He had like 3 goals. Do you think he can reach his potential this year? Manuel legacy game. What's like your favorite game you've ever watched Red Bull Green? Because mine is that Charlotte game where Manuel scored the hat trick. That was like the first Red Bull playoff game I've ever been to. No, second, because first one was against Cincinnati. We lost. The second one was that game. That was my favorite in person. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty sure we won that game. Classic Chris Armas parking the bus.
Yeah, and just to pivot back real quick before we do some rapid fires into you with FC Monmouth and just you as a person getting into the real world, so to say, now that you're in graduate school at Rhode Island. So, firstly, I got 2 questions for you in this. One, why do you love FC Monmouth and just what keeps you coming back, so to say? And then, secondly, what are your career goals and aspirations as you graduate graduate school and get into the real world of sports management? Yeah, you're very organized. One thing I know, like I'm sure whatever you do, you'll be great at. And then also, it's just funny, like FC Monmouth too, because I was thinking about this myself. I was actually at the gym, Planet Fitness, and
That's a new one in Ocean?
no, one in Wall actually, right near Aldi and Whole Foods. But there's a guy named Luis Cajas there, and I had like these tight beats on pretty much. I couldn't really hear anything, and I could see this guy's trying to talk to me, like, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "You play for FC Monmouth?" I was shocked he even said that. I don't really look like much of a scary guy, but I was like, "No, I announce the games. I don't play." But then he just went on and on. And nice guy, but for like 10 minutes about all the guys he knows, like Brett Sieg. He actually played at Brookville and played against Monmouth and tried out for FC Monmouth. Went to the, I think, final tryouts. But that was kind of like the first time I think I ever felt famous in a sense where he's like, "I actually have heard you announce. I watched the games before." I was like, "Thanks, man. Like, that's sick." But yeah, it's really cool. Like, it kind of brings everybody together in a sense with soccer in Monmouth County, which is something I think that obviously Lucas's dad too with Asbury Park FC has done.
Shout out Sean Francis.
Yeah, shout out Sean Francis. But it's really great to see. And yeah, now from the sentimental stuff, Lucas got some rapid fire silly questions here, so let's get into it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, hopefully some more on the way.
I got recognized as the guy that throws the balls in the crowd, the broken wrist.
Good job,
Got
Lucas.
recognized as that at work one time. Alright, so rapid fire questions, James. What's your favorite team outside of soccer? Outside of soccer. You can say in soccer and outside of soccer if you want.
Let's go. Tough loss last night.
Did they lose to LeBron?
Yeah. It's a good run though. 9 wins in a row. Can't complain. Yeah.
Alright, who's your favorite athlete now? We already did the favorite team. Who's your favorite athlete? Ooh. So do you think he's the GOAT?
I could go on about this for a while, but I always thought that too growing up. I did like the Ronaldo haircut, the jerseys, yeah, and I was a huge Ronaldo fan, but ever since like Messi, of course, won the Ballon d'Or, World Cup, I think that just cemented his spot as the GOAT, and there's no debating it now. I feel like, and now that Messi came to MLS, I have a soft spot for him. Anybody that loves the United States, they have. He's a good guy. I mean, but he's acted like a villain. But I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we definitely could go into it. Now we're a long podcast.
We're gonna start fights if we
Yeah.
do that debate. Alright, what's your favorite movie to watch? Let's say you're taking a red eye from Sacramento all the way to the Newark airport. What are you watching? So this leads us to the next question then. What's the favorite TV show? Besides Breakpoint, like you already said. That was
No, it's
on
good
Netflix.
too. Is the PGA one's really good too. Full Swing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. I think a
They're doing
WWE
WWE too.
like $5 billion. I know, it's gonna be big. That's gonna be the front of the kit sponsor. You might be gone by that. We might all be gone.
You get
know,
Netflix as a kid
2030.
sponsor?
We could. Think
All
about
or
it, right
nothing.
on the corner.
All or nothing FC Monmouth. Just have John yelling in his accent. Alright, so speaking of the PGA Netflix series, who's the best golfer on the team? Don't spare anyone's feelings. Nothing. Reese just looks like he would be good. I don't know if it's just like his British accent or what, but he just looks like he would be good. All right, so who's winning the chicken fight? David on Mason's back or Johnny on Reese's back? He has sleeper build.
And now, to piggyback off of that, what's your favorite memory thus far in your 4.5 years with FC Monmouth? It's a far one, yeah. It's my biggest goal too. Watching this team since the very beginning of FC Monmouth, like the amount of times you come close too, it's so frustrating. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, mhm. I remember that. Yeah, it's impressive.
That's the best part. That's, that's the best part about just American sports in general. It's, even if you look at MLS, every year it's a different winner. You might have like Toronto winning it 2 years in a row, but it's not like the Prem where Man City's winning 3 years in a row. Bayern Munich's won the league.
We got the Chiefs now,
Well,
unfortunately, with Pat Mahomes. But
I'm a Chiefs fan.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. So the moral of the story is that pork roll's better than cheesesteaks, basically. Well, do you call it pork roll or Taylor ham? Mm.
finally, for these rapid fire questions, I actually think I live closest to the beach here, Wall Township, pretty close to Manasquan and Belmar. But what is your favorite spot to hang out at the Jersey Shore during the summer months? Okay. Yeah, it's the one thing about being like the late bloomer. I'd always be getting in for free. Oh, I'm 12 when I was really like 15, but now I grew like 6 inches in the past year or so I can't do that anymore. It's really annoying, but yeah, I guess so. It was a tiny bit. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know how much I believe that little squirt nowadays.
39% accuracy rate.
Lost his, yeah, but yeah, without further ado, I think that's all we have for you, James. And I don't know if you have any closing remarks or anything you want to say, maybe to inspire people to come out to games, but we do really appreciate you coming on. You know, TSC Futsal League will be there at least, 52. I'm thinking hopefully at least 25 of them, half of them will show up. I think they will, especially once you throw the word free in there. I think they'll grab it. But yeah,
Thanks.
for sure, exactly. I will.
I want to see Tristan O'Neill shirtless with flair.
You don't want to see that, but yeah, James, thank you so much again, and I wish you the best luck with everything. And for everybody watching, make sure to go follow FC Monmouth on social media.